Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So if you listen to one of my most recent podcasts titled Best of Arctic Monkeys, where I basically talk through my absolute favourite Arctic Monkeys songs, then you'll know that I was expecting to see them live pretty soon after that went up. So I went to watch them live on their second show in Sheffield on Wednesday the 19th of September. And although obviously I got to experience one of their live shows and I had a great time and everything, I left feeling really sad that it was all over, because I think it's definitely fair to say that they are my favourite band, like many other people out there. But I just wanted to see them live all over again. So since that Wednesday, I had been trying to buy tickets, either refreshing the arena website constantly or trying to message people on Twitter, and I couldn't get any, and I was genuinely planning on trying to get some from a Tao outside on Saturday. However, about an hour before the doors opened, 3 standing tickets appeared on the arena website, and my heart had never been beating faster, and I managed to persuade my parents and somehow get tickets for Saturday standing as well. So that was my mini story time, and basically what I'm trying to say is that without further rambling on, I thought today I would talk to you about my experience seeing Arctic Monkeys live and include some of my favourite clips over the period of the 2 shows in here as well. So as I'm filming this, their UK tour finished yesterday in Newcastle, and I believe they're heading back to America to do a few more tour dates, but for most nights on their tour they opened with 4 Out of 5, which is one of my favourite songs from the new album. So after 4 Out of 5 they played arguably their most upbeat song, of course Brianstorm, from my personal favourite album, Favourite Worst Nightmare, which as you'll see from the clip now, the crowd responded greatly to. But I really enjoyed their version of Brianstorm on this tour, as they slowed down one of the guitar riffs and it was just really funky. So their third song on Wednesday was Arabella, but also from AM on Saturday their third song was Snap Out of It, but you'll find that they often changed up the order of their tracks on their set list over the whole period of their UK tour. Then fourth, they played their first song from their third album, Humbug, and it was one of my favourites from the night, so here is a clip of Crying Lightning.
Time that I caught my own reflection, it was on its way to meet you, making out excuses to postpone. You never look like yourself from the side, but your profile could not hide the fact you knew I was approaching your goal. We spoke it out, you and your mind, and then tried to make stood up your chest out like you never lost the war.
So again, their order changed for their 5th song, but on Saturday they played Dancing Shoes from their first album, Whatever People Say I Am, That's What I'm Not, and I was so glad that they played Dancing Shoes on both nights actually that I was there, because I'd seen on previous nights in Sheffield they've been replacing it with From the Ritz to the Rubble, which I thought they were just going to be doing like for Sheffield, and although that is a great tune, I prefer Dancing Shoes, so enjoy a clip of that now.
The only reason that you came, so what you scared for? Well, don't you always do the same? It's what you're there for, don't you know the lights are flashing down into night, and some minds changing plans, but keep pretending to.
Moving on to 505, again from Favourite Worst Nightmare, which is another favourite of mine. Now, I'm pretty sure in one of their London shows, I believe, Miles Kane joined them to play 505 like he always used to do back years ago. So I'm slightly jealous of the people in London, but I can get over it because I'm going to see Miles in November on his own tour. And at the end of 505, they did a really cool transition outro, which I believe is being referred to as the Jam of Boston. Now, I'm guessing the Arctic Monkeys just had like a jam session in Boston, and this is what they came out with. So here's a clip of it. So that transitioned really nicely into another highlight of mine, which was the title track of the album they were touring, obviously Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. And I feel like I keep saying, oh, this was a highlight of my night, but I really enjoyed like the light display for this song, so here is a clip now.
Good afternoon, Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino, I'm speaking, please tell me how may I direct your call, and do you see wrote you down beside, then wishing
I know a lot of people on Twitter who weren't exactly keen on Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino as an album in the first place was saying that their new stuff sounded even worse live, but I genuinely really loved hearing the new stuff live. Moving on to some more of Whatever People Say I Am, That's What I'm Not. Now on Wednesday this is where they played Dancing Shoes, but on Saturday they played From the Ritz to the Rubble, which was a pleasant surprise as, like I was saying earlier, I thought it was either going to be Dancing Shoes or From Ritz to the Rubble, as they weren't playing much of their first album on the set, but I'm really glad that I got to hear both, so have a listen for yourself.
just wants to give you a door. We'll see what I think they want it all to keep up doing. I'm trying everything and a buzz as well as just trying to talk about my story to tell you. Well, I'm trying to tell us all the world, put it down to fate. That's what I felt, so many things that I could never say this morning.
Then they played some more of Humbug, however probably their softest from the album, Cornerstone, which I just loved because Alex's vocals in it were just superb.
and I call you her name. And I elongated my left foot. Yeah, I let him go the long way round. I smashed his into the seatbelt and kept my shortcuts to myself.
After Cornerstone on Wednesday, they played Snap Out of It, and then after that, Alex played the first couple of verses on the piano of Fluorescent Adolescent, which I believed he only did on the first 2 nights of Sheffield, and that was really lovely to hear.
Everything's an outer in a black hole. Nothing seems as pretty as the past though. A bloody man is like in a Tabasco. Do you remember when you used to be a rascal? Oh, the bars are slack.
Then on the piano they transitioned into 1 Point Perspective, which obviously opens with the piano, what inspired the whole album, so it transitioned rather nicely if I do say so myself. After 1 Point Perspective on Saturday, they played number 1 Party Anthem from AM, which they did not play on Wednesday, so I was really happy that I got to hear it because they played it the night before on Friday and I was hoping they'd do it Saturday, which they did.
Come on, come on, come on. Number 1 Party Anthem. Come on, come on, come on. Before the moment's gone. Number 1 Party Anthem. Yeah, yeah. The look of love, the rush of blood.
Next up, they played Do Me a Favour from my favourite album, Favourite Worst Nightmare. After that, they finally played their only song on the whole set list from Suck It and See, which was a shame as I really love that album, so I thought I'd include a clip of it since it was the only song they played from the album. So here is Don't Sit Down 'Cause I Moved Your Chair.
Just don't you sit down without move your chair.
That is probably one of my favourite songs lyrically, and I think throughout the whole show the heaviest stuff was the best to hear. Like, I was thinking, imagine if they did a 10-year anniversary for Humbug, like a tour of it, like Cortines did with 10 years since releasing St. Jude, because that would be a dream since it's probably their like heaviest album. After that, on Wednesday, they played Knee Socks from AM, which I was pretty excited to hear since I'm pretty sure at the end Alex, Matt and Nick do vocals, but on Saturday Alex decided to press a drum loop at this point and fit A Certain Romance to it, which was so cool to hear because I definitely miss it when they played that live.
They probably like to throw a punch at me, and if you could only see them, then you would agree that there is no romance around there, you know. Oh, it's a funny thing, you know. Well, tell them if you like. Well, tell them all tonight, they'll never listen, because the minds are made up, and us it's all okay to carry on that way.
But on Friday they played Mardy Bum opposed to Fluorescent Adolescent as their little like piano version, if you like. But then on Saturday they obviously played A Certain Romance, which I prefer, so I was happy when he began to sing that. Then the setlist changed again as they kept alternating on songs to play from their new album, because I know in shows before and after Sheffield they were playing Bat Phone and Science Fiction, but on Wednesday they played She Looks Like Fun, which is like kind of heavy, so like I say, it was great to hear that.
To the length of the decades we could be. Dark City.
And then on Saturday they did the Ultra Cheese, which is their last song on their latest album, and it was a lot slower, but again it was really fab live, so I can't not include a clip of it.
The chance. I still got pictures of friends on the wall. I might look as if I'm deep in thought, but the truth is I'm probably not. If I ever was.
Then on Saturday they played Why Do You Only Call Me When You're High, which again I didn't get to hear on Wednesday, so I was literally loving it that I got to hear different songs on different nights. Then on both nights they obviously played Do I Wanna Know, which is one of their top songs on AM. Then it was time for probably my favourite song of the whole night, Pretty Visitors, because like I was saying, I live for the heavy stuff, and Pretty Visitors was just something else. So here are a couple of clips from over the two nights.
Mr. Matthew Jail is a fair on his strolls in his own town today. All the pretty visitors came and waved their arms and cast the shadow of the sleepers on the wall. What came first, the chicken and the ducat? The sleeping souls on the open tin floors. In the conservatory.
On Wednesday they finished with One for the Road from AM, which was a nice touch because it was like, you know, one for the road, see you later, which they didn't play on Saturday, so again it was nice to hear different things. And on Saturday before the encore they finished with Arabella, again from AM. You know what, they played a lot of AM and hardly like any Suck It and See, obviously, and whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not. The first song back in the encore was the first song from their latest album, Star Treatment, which literally gave me chills, so obviously I'm going to include a clip.
I told you an apparition is a cheap day. What exactly is it you've been drinking these days? Jukebox in a corner, a long hot summer. You got a film up on the wall, it's dark enough to dance. What do you mean you've never seen Full Monty?
Then it was time for the song I suppose they're most well known for, I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor, which they played at the 2012 London Olympics. And on Saturday he opened it a different way to his usual ladies, so take a look.
Sheffield Steelers.
But that is like my only formal complaint of the show. Like, it's not even a complaint, well it is, but on neither of the nights he didn't shout his iconic
Ladies!
before I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor, or He Didn't Shout
Alright.
in the middle of it. But on Wednesday, a blue flare did go up, so I mean, that was fun enough to watch. On Wednesday, though, they played I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor 5th, so much further up in the set list. So second in the encore on Wednesday was their first track in Whatever People Say I Am, That's What I'm Not, A View from the Afternoon, which was a highlight to hear.
And she won't be surprised, and she won't be shocked when she's pressed the star and when she's pressed the rock. And there's first a chance to sign every box. And that says is like a Dracula. And you should pay that tonight tonight. Yeah, you should pay that tonight tonight. And you can buy your heart tonight around 3 o'clock. When the 2 full rounds have done your righteous block.
And on both shows, they obviously finished with Are You Mine, which was, I'm pretty sure, their first single, I think, from AM.
She's a silver lining, a Lone Ranger riding through an open space. Big shadow in my mind when she's not right at the side.
So yeah, that pretty much sums up my 2 experiences of the Arctic Monkeys live. I am so grateful that I actually got to see them twice. I don't know like how I did it, but yeah, I only have my parents to thank for that. Obviously, they did change up the set list a lot, but I have made a playlist of all the songs that they played live on this year's UK tour, so that playlist will be here on YouTube, obviously free to listen to, but it will also be on music apps such as Apple Music and Spotify, all linked in the description below. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you did, I'd love it if you could give it a thumbs up, and also comment below if you went to see Arctic Monkeys on their UK tour this year, and if you did, what was your favourite song that you heard live? But I will see you next time for another podcast. Bye!